Hello guys, it is Get Your Theories here, and the most recent episode of the Beaker Girls was one of the best episodes I think so far of this show. It was of course Elaine The Pain's return, and we got to see another classic Tracy, Justine and Elaine argument. We haven't seen one of them for over 15 years now, and it was so cool to see it again. But most importantly from all of this is Elaine might have just confirmed everything that has made the Beaker Girls and my mum Tracy Beaker so odd and controversial up to now. Let's get into it, but before we go any further, please make sure that you click that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on so that you get notified every time we make any brand new Tracy Beaker videos. What I'm referring to is whether this Tracy Beaker franchise is all one same continuous story, from the story of Tracy Beaker to Tracy Beaker Returns to the Dumping Ground to My Mum Tracy Beaker to the Beaker Girls, or actually 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 completely separate stories with different Tracys, and that none of these shows actually relate to each other whatsoever. I've done many videos in the past referring to this and how so many of the shows hint that they are all connected, but then also hint at so many contradictions suggesting they're not all connected. And if you want to see a full detail of lots of these similarities but also lots of these contradictions, you can check out my video on Tracy Beaker's life and evolution by clicking the card up there, or there'll be a link down below in the description. However, in saying that, these contradictions might have all just been retconned by Elaine's surprise return appearance, and we may have just been given the biggest piece of evidence hinting that every show is connected and could mean the Beaker Girls could cross over with the Dumping Ground at some point. The issue was with Tracy Beaker Returns, because I think it's safe to say that the story of Tracy Beaker relates to Tracy Beaker Returns, and I think it's safe to say the story of Tracy Beaker relates to the Beaker Girls. But then Tracy Beaker Returns and the Beaker Girls have got so many contradictions against each other that it kind of just throws a spanner in the works and makes it all a bit unclear, and really left the story of Tracy Beaker in the air, or whether it was related to Tracy Beaker Returns or the Beaker Girls, or even both potentially, but not at the same time. And if we're really going to get meta, maybe it's some sort of like parallel universe life or something else, but this is Tracy Beaker we're talking about, so we're not going to go into any crazy conspiracies like that. However, with Elaine's appearance, she instead changed all this. Let's start with the fact she cemented that this show is definitely related to the story of Tracy Beaker, and that all of the characters in this show are the same characters in that original show. And we know this purely because of all of the stories Elaine and the others tell throughout this episode. The clock story, Tracy's crafted book for Cam, even the date of when the show came out, and so much more.
Love this clock, and everyone knew what it meant to her. Stacey sneaked into Janine's room, and when she came out, the clock was broken.
Tracy deliberately destroyed Justine's clock and had to spend time in the quiet room to calm down.
Tracy Beaker and Justine Littlewood having a paint fight? Is this 2002? Through some old records and...
Mum, did you write that? I adored a bit about your foster parents and the River of Tears. Showed a lot of imagination.
His nan's locket meant the world to Peter, and he'd given it to me.
Stacey walked in. She'd been at Adele's makeup. She looked like a pantomime dame.
Oh yeah, there's only one person missing, and when I get my hands on her, I'm gonna kill her. Hello!
Like, we've never really had this much detail before, and sure, all of them are from series 1 of the story of Tracy Beaker, but it's still a start. And then we finally got a confirmation of 2 key things that are from Tracy Beaker Returns, which we hadn't really ever gotten confirmed before in My Mum Tracy Beaker or the Beaker Girls. And that is Tracy being a care worker and also writing a book about her life in care. We've had like an odd one-liner from My Mum Tracy Beaker for both of these, but everything else described about Tracy's life didn't really add up with it at all. With Jess's age and whatever happened to Seth all of a sudden, and the fact that there's no real explanation as to why she would have randomly stopped being a care worker after the end of Tracy Beaker Returns, when we see her going off to a new care worker job, not to mention how unsure she seems about the fostering system when dealing with Jordan, when a care worker would surely know about it all. But then we have these 2 lines.
She grew up in care, worked in a children's home.
Advice from an expert?
What expert?
You.
Finally outright confirming Tracy was a care worker and wrote a book about her life, which we know she did in Tracy Beaker Returns. So does this confirm that Tracy Beaker Returns and the Beaker Girls are the same Tracy? Well, I'd say it leans more towards yes than we've had in the past, but there are still a lot of contradictions, but I'm definitely more satisfied than I was before I watched this episode. And can we just appreciate how great this episode was? By far the best one of the series so far. Elaine the Pain, and finally Peter and Tracy getting together. I've been rewatching the Story of Tracy Beaker Series 1 for this video, and I'm remembering just how great Tracy and Peter were when they were younger, so I absolutely love it. But anyway guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure that you smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about this? Did you love Elaine the Pain's return to the Beaker Girls? Because I absolutely did. And do you reckon this actually ties up all of those strange contradictions that we've seen throughout this show to suggest that actually this is one giant timeline from the beginning of the story Tracy Beaker up to now, and everything that we've seen on TV is the same Tracy Beaker? Or do you reckon that actually all of these shows are just separate things and none of them relate to each other? Let me know all your thoughts down there, and as always, we've been here on Creative Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.